G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for part number 8 of my Gunslinger Warlord playthrough with Gunslinger here. Last episode I did a little bit of farming. I got myself some nice new level 40 pew pew shooters, and I think I also put some of these on. Maybe that was the episode before. It's been a few days. In terms of resistances, we are looking pretty good except for these two. This is kind of fine for the moment. I will definitely want to be fixing that in the not too distant future. And there's a couple other things that I want to change. So I am actually going to change the path I was planning on taking for devotions. Nothing really changed too much. I'm just moving the order around more than anything else. So I am going to take these 2 points out of Assassin's Blade, and we're going to put those into the Lotus here. This is going to get me 25% reflected damage reduction. A little bit of extra health regeneration and healing effects is also good. And I'm just not going to finish this. This is just purely going to be reflect resistance because I don't want to kill myself with the dots, especially considering what's coming up in like 2-3 levels. 1 point in retribution, which I'll probably be getting. It's it's gonna be it's going to be adding even more internal trauma damage. So I want to reduce that even further. And so I've moved the Lotus from further down the list to right now. I want it now, and I'm going to get it. I've also moved the Owl as well. I'll be taking the Owl for a very similar reason. And instead of getting that towards the end of the devotion path, I'm gonna get it next after Assassin's Blade, and if I start feeling too squishy, I'm gonna just take points out of Assassin's Blade and take the Owl, because reflected damage reduction is kind of important. I knew that going into this series. I didn't realize just how important it was, so I'm gonna get that one as well. There are a couple of ways you could do this. Who was it? Someone pointed out in the last episode. Let me just check comments here. I should have this ready to go. But somebody mentioned that another way to do this would be regeneration, and that is absolutely true. It was Princess Peffles. So yes, that is definitely correct. You could go regen. Soldier has some regen here on veterancy. I know you have some regen here. This one requires a shield or two-hander. Okay, so that's no good. But you could get some flat regen here. I don't think Oathkeeper has much in the way of regen. Got healing effect increase here. But there's not a huge amount of regen available, but it is there. And you can get it on rings. So this could be a Lich's Moonstone Band of Mending or Renewal or something. You can get regen affixes. So it could get some regen and try and offset the degen from reflection. And I may end up having to do that as well. But for now I'm going to go with the reflect reduction. Okay, so made it out of Darkvale Gate, went and found some new pistols. Level 40 means I can, well, I could if I had the stats for it. I'm not too far off on the perdition stuff. I think on its own, a single piece of perdition, specifically this chest, is probably not as good as that Devil's Chest Guard, especially if I'd spent the time to get a well-rolled one. So, for example, I'm hoping I get a well-rolled one here. Pretty much the same. I'm pretty sure that physical resist goes to 5 or 6%. Having said that, mine is not horrible, so we'll just roll with it. It's probably worth doing a totem or 2 or 3 in the hopes of getting another perdition piece. Generally speaking, most of my characters will end up with 2 to 3 pieces of each of the perdition set for each playthrough. As long as you're not playing an Acid Retaliation Sentinel, in which case you will farm that shit for hours and have like 2 pieces. Ask me how I know. Actually, don't ask me how I know, just go watch. Oh, here we go, here's a good test of the reflect. Let's just drill this guy and see what happens. That's actually better. It's still not great. I am still dying. But this is not going to murder me completely to death. As long as I have things to shoot, I'm going to be fine. Yeah, I don't love it. I really don't love it. In fact, I don't love it so much. I'm thinking about taking the owl right now. Having said that, I did just go on about regen, so maybe we can move a few skill points around as well. I can perhaps take like 2 points out of this, lose 2% regen, and then get... Oh, that would be 6 points. Half a level. Okay, I'm going to take veterancy. Am I? No, it's only plus 6. I mean, plus probably like 12. Maybe not. I could go find a merchant and find myself some yellow rings with some mending or renewal on it. Maybe we just continue with the plan and just keep an eye out for anything that reflects. I think it's kind of... it's okay at the moment. It's not great, but it's okay. Alright, obligatory mention of the way south lore notes here. In fact, I like XP, so let's go pick them up. Reflective, just what I wanted to see, and before I could let go of the button, he's already reflected me. That's liches of protection on that ring there. Let's go find something to shoot before I die. But before I die... there we go. Back to full health. I'm going to pay a visit to Childred here. I visit him every time through here, and he always disappoints me. He always lets me down. Yeah, once again, didn't drop me a rare crafting component. This is still ticking. That is nuts. Okay. Right, so the trip south. Now, I'm going to kind of slowly scroll through this, so if you want to read it, you definitely can. This is one of the... maybe not best. Maybe best is not the right word. But definitely one of the creepier / darker lore note series in the game. I think personally the ones in Malmouth are a little better in my opinion. Or is it Port Valbury? One of those two. Okay, good catch. Here's part 2. So let's just slowly scroll through here. And you can go ahead and pause that if you want to read it. And then part 3, if you want to find these for yourself, by the way, look for the untouched meal on the map. You would think that, you know, starving to death, just eat the untouched meals right next to where you left your notes. There's plenty of food. Just gotta eat it. And then part 3, I think, is down here. Am I wrong? I'm probably wrong. No, there it is. Just check the names here. Nuana and Sylvie should sound a little bit familiar if you actually read the notes. And do note that they are cannibals now. So spoilers. Probably should have pointed that out after reading part 3, but here's part 3. There you go. So pretty dark. It was I guess the first lore note series that's, you know, obvious to find and in a small area, so you can, generally speaking, you'll find the whole thing in one go rather than having to go looking for it. So I think it's probably the lore note that a lot of people found first, and it's definitely one of the darkest sort of sets. Okay, Chthonian said that. Chthonians said thrash. You know what? This one. Lifesteal and Nova. That is vitality damage. The lifesteal is nice. I'm actually kind of tempted to put it on. What have I got there at the moment? I've got +1 to soldier. Yeah, not a chance. +1 to soldier skills, a damage proc. We are not swapping that in. I am also tempted, if I haven't already done it, yeah, I'm also tempted to not take Assassin's Blade and take Tortoise early first. Just because the Reflect is kind of silly. Not being able to have any decent amount of physical resistance really makes that hurt. And then the fact that it lasts for like, what feels like a minute, it's probably 20-30 seconds. It's quite long. Okay, we are not doing the hidden path, but if we were, we would just go in here. I've kind of stopped doing it in normal lately. The last few characters I've had, I just don't. And then I do it once in Ultimate, get my 3 stat points, my 3 skill points, and I'm on my way. It saves me a decent amount of time, and I don't really notice the lack of the points in normal. So, I don't know, you guys, when you play, do you skip it as well? I'm pretty much just going to keep skipping it, but I wonder if other people are also skipping it. Alright, Ragrathar, let's kill your buddies first. Now you can die alone. Eventually. Any day now, big boy. There we go. Okay, leg plates of valor. That's a definite maybe. So I am looking for bleeding resistance because I do want to ditch these wardstones, if I can. Need a little bit of elemental as well to do that. I pretty much can just swap this straight in as soon as I have the physique here. So I'll need maybe a couple of levels, or... What does that get me? At 65, if we undo that, so that's another 15, 38, 43, I'll be, yeah, next level. Through this little section here as well, there is a totem in here. You can see it on the map there. Could have been here. I've already killed the big scary in this area, and he's honestly not scary, he's just tanky. Let's see if I can get another piece of perdition. Okay, we got some angry things. None of these look like they're reflecting though, which is good. No perdition, but we do have the Squire's Greaves, the Adept's Greaves, and the Glyph of Wayward Souls, which is a movement skill. Also got another Chthonian Thread Sash. Might start a collection. Okay, Adept's Greaves. 178 armor is just too low to be relevant. Squire's Greaves, same. And then the Glyph of Wayward Souls. I mean, we don't have a shield, so no. Also, let's not fill up my I'm going to use this later tab with random rubbish. Not till later, anyway. We are back to the healing goblins, and they need to die first. Which is kind of fine. Okay, and now that we're here, let's just take a quick detour, because you can never have enough Aether Crystals. And I want to point out an area just down here. Aether to Fizz is kind of fine. What do we got here? Resistant. Who is... Oh, it's you. Okay, so resistant, we're looking at, I think, the cold and poison on there. Oh, it's way less armor. Never mind. Never mind, I'm not doing it. If it was a few levels higher, I would consider it. Alright, just over here, we have the best place in the game for farming Chthonian Seals of Binding. I'm not sure what it is about this place. It's probably the fact that it is... I'm not going to do this whole thing, I'm just going to poke my head in. The fact that it's a dangerous domain, I'm pretty sure is the reason why Chthonian Seals of Binding drop quite frequently in here. I've had, I think, maybe 7 or 8 or something like that is the most I've ever had in here. But all these guys with yellow names, they can all drop them. Look, there's 2 right off the rip. Do I hear 3? No. I'm not going to go any further in here. There is also... Oh, actually, what is his? Alright, I changed my mind. I am going to go in here, but not to just kill Chthonians. I'm specifically looking for the undead section, which, I mean, to be fair, I don't need to go looking for it. I know where it lives. Let's just fight my way through here. There is some loot hidden under bridges and stuff in here as well. And I'm just going to not... And we're going to pretend that my 70% chaos resistance is also a number that's quite a lot bigger. Now these guys, these undead, the ghouls here, they do bleeding damage. And so if your bleeding resist is not pretty good. You're going to take too much damage, and I've gone across the wrong bridge here. Alright, first things first. Physique, in soldier. Do I want veterancy? Let's see how much it gives me. Alright, 18 per second. Let's not for a second here. Health regeneration, I mean, it's still not anywhere near enough, is it? Plus 23%, it's going to come out to something like 24 regen. I think we keep going with Oathkeeper. And I'm just not going to take Retribution for a little bit. Maybe once I've got the Owl, I'll think about it. It's still only another 15%, but it's like 30% less damage taken, so yeah, maybe we can double our damage over time. Jeez, I'm gonna get this character killed. Maybe the other pistols is the way to go. There is another pair of pistols for a Warlord that you can take that does cadence instead of Righteous Fervor, but I think we'd probably end up with the same problem, because cadence also does a decent amount of internal trauma, right? Am I remembering that right? Let's have a quick look. That's all flat. That's bleeding. That's not as bad. There's the internal trauma. Yeah, and actually Deadly Momentum is where the damage comes from in cadence as well. I mean, like 500 or 600% on the cadence hit, but... or 500 or 600% weapon damage specifically. It's a big bonk, but the in-between hits, you get the damage from Deadly Momentum. So you can't just not take it. I think it will stick with the plan. Okay, Void Touched is fine. You can do chaos damage to me all day, and I don't care. So I am looking for the boss in here. I'm pretty sure he drops a medal. I think it's... is it the Aether conversion for... Inquisitor Seal, or is... No, that's the other guy in the other tomb. So this guy... Oh, we'll find out what he does, I guess, when he drops it. I'll handle the pew-pew, thank you. You can go away. Okay, so I see Aether Aura. I don't love that. But also, I don't think it's really going to make a big difference. That's Corpran. Okay, Corrupted. Pushing the You Can't Hurt Me button. Let's get out of the goop. Here he is, Harvel. Yeah, he definitely drops a medal. I definitely don't remember what it does. Whoa, we are getting wrecked in there. Rule number 1 of fighting ghouls, do not get surrounded. Rule number 2 of fighting ghouls, don't get hit by that. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're regenning. Good. Alright, that was considerably more dangerous than I was hoping for. Alright, we've got regen there. Fizz damage to Warcry, that's why I remember it. Okay. Do I want to use this? I think I do. It's got regen, it's got more chaos resistance, it's got skill points for skills that I technically will be using. I think I'm going to swap that in. The affixes on it are not great. And I'm pretty sure this little section up here is quest locked. I think. There's one of these, this one I think, will open a door somewhere. It's been a long time since I've done that quest. I don't even remember where the quest is from, if I'm being honest. I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments. In fact, let's get Cunningham's Law in motion here. This quest comes from the Death's Vigil. It's their last quest. And they'll only give it to you if you have revered. There we go. So someone will be along in a second to correct me. Alright, I'm done in here. Nearly dead, which is, you know, not ideal. But I did get a slight upgrade. This is definitely not something you need to go looking for. We don't have Warcry yet. Vaya's Might is the movement skill, so adding a bunch of flat damage to that is kind of who cares, but I did get a little bit of regen, a little bit of physical damage added to 2 skills that I use. +3 to break morale when we get there is not horrible. Reducing target's physical resistance is good. This one doesn't stack with, for example, this one. So reduce target's resistances. It doesn't stack with this one, reduce target's resistances. It's the wording. This particular wording doesn't stack with itself. So if you've got 20 from Break Morale and you've got 15 from another source, the other source will only take effect if Break Morale is not in effect, if that makes sense. And if it doesn't, just Google it. I'm sure someone can explain it better than me. All right, so I'm keeping the Kaiman's badge, and I need to get 2 Aether Souls. As much as I don't want to destroy my bleeding resistance, which is why I was so happy when this dropped, I do actually... That's bleeding as well. I will lose piercing. I don't care. Okay, that's good. I'll just make that trade. I would love to get a second piece of Perdition. Preferably shoulders with 5%. Shoulders or gloves. We'll see what drops. I definitely want to keep the item here. Running this without of the grove on the metal, or the... What is this called? Amulet, is really weird to me. But it kind of is what it is. Okay. All my gear is equipable. Alright, I can equip all my gear. Let's go get some Aether Souls. I'm pretty sure I should have enough... these things. Aether Crystals. I need 6 Wrathstones. Aether Soul 1. I'm 1 short. Okay. Well, ain't that a kick in the nuts. Level 41. I don't think the Warden's Laboratory is going to scale to 41. I might just get in there. 31, maybe? Alright, cool. I'm doing a quick run through here. Daddy needs some new crystals. I'm going to use one of them for this. If you're sort of in the similar area, now might be Jesus, I can't talk today. Now might be an ideal time to stock up on these. Get maybe 20 or 30 of them. Having said that, there are other places you can go to get them. The Aether Mines just north of the Blood Grove are a good spot. The first half of the Necropolis is also decent. But this is the easiest / safest place to get large amounts. Having said that, we are about to unlock Elite and Ultimate, so you could skip the expansions and go to either Elite or Ultimate and just bum rush Act 1 would also be a decent way of doing it. Anyway, I've got my Aether Souls. If I could spell properly. No, seriously, if I could spell properly. Alright, now I'm short on Ectoplasm, which we can make. One of those makes 3, so don't go too nuts with it. And then Aether Soul, boom. Where is it? There we go. Okay, so this is going to mean I'll take less damage from Ethereals, less damage from Aether Corruptions. If you don't need the Aether resistance, if you're up around 50% or higher, don't bother making this swap. If you have tons of bleeding, you have... Ouch. You have tons of Elemental. Maybe consider Black Tallow from either Kaiman or... who's the other one? The other choice? Death Vigil. Could definitely be a good shout. I am seriously considering dropping back down to these guys for the Elemental resistance. Do I have a ring anywhere? Not really. How much do I care about poison and acid at the moment? A little bit. I care a little bit. Vitality, not at all. So if I can find an Elemental resistance ring, I'm just going to roll with that. So let's go Tal Res. Check over here. Bleeding. Don't really need bleeding. Cold, I definitely don't need. 18% Elemental. It's got some energy resist on it, actually. I might buy that as 50. Well, that's 20% of my bits, though. What else we got? You've got nothing. What have you got? It's rare. Menacing, corrosive, demonic. Gildem Arcanum is not bad. Okay, well, while I'm here, we can sell some of this stuff. You've got Elemental? Nope. I need the pants, so I can't use that. What about this belt? Nope. How about this belt? No. That ring, that was a Lich's ring. Yeah, yeah. Alright, so I don't love this, for sure. I think maybe my previous pants or my previous chest had elemental resist on it, which I didn't notice until I'd already taken it off, so that's not ideal. Why am I keeping these? Level 40, Superior of Alacrity, and then Superior of Sanctification. Oh, these were the ones I found off screen. Okay, yeah, I'll just sell those. I don't think anything in here is going to give me elemental resistance. None of the components are going to be elemental resistance, except I think you might be able to get some on your weapons. Yeah, Radiant Gem, which is activatable. Shields and caster off hands, can't use it on guns. Already have a runestone in my helmet, and wardstones I just took off, so... I don't want to do that, but also I can't run around with 50% elemental resist. I just can't do it. I can get another 6% from here, or I could take this one off instead. Also just worked out I don't need the soul shards, so that's good. I'm just going to wear that. Yeah. That'll cap my elemental resistance, and I'll just kind of hang on to this for the moment. Let's get rid of the moonstone here. Yep, don't have augments yet, which is good. Question mark? That's fine. I'm going to put corpse dust on there. That'll get me some more regen, which will help with the reflection. Let's go dust. There we go. Okay, so health regen's up to 80. Wow. That'll help. 80 is nothing. Health is quite low. Alright. Well, as long as I don't get hit in the feet, I think I should be okay. Resistances are under control. It's only poison, acid, and aether that are not capped. I could swap out the Mark of the Traveler. I'm absolutely not going to, but I could swap that out in exchange for an anti-venom salve and cap this, but I think that's kind of okay. I also cleared my rift, didn't I? Did I? I definitely did. Well, let's hope I wasn't too far in front of the rift gate. Beautiful. That works really well. Luckily. That would be 2 episodes in a row where I've done that. And for those of you who are watching this in the future, yesterday's episode was a different character where I did the same thing. That's alright, we get it done. Devotion point, love to see it. Tempted, actually, still, to go for... Actually, you know what? I am going to do it. We're doing it. As they say, fuck it, we'll do it live. I'm actually going to go and respec, and I'm going to take the owl now, because I want the reflect reduction. It's only 15%, but it's actually taking 52% up to 67%, so it's more like 34% reduction, something like that. Give me that back. Give me... Oh, I need it for Lotus. So actually, I can't quite get there. Alright, I will keep my crystal then. Where's the undo button? No, seriously, where's the undo? There we go. So I need to get my hands on 2 more devotion points. Which shouldn't be too bad, actually. Where is it going to be? One in the Tomb of the Archon. There's none in Fort Ikon, none in Plains of Strife. The Gates has 1 in front of the crypt, and then 1 in the crypt. So, yeah, once I get to there, I'm going to go and respec, and we'll take the owl. Technically, it's the wrong, in air quotes, choice, because more damage, more better. But if I more damage myself to death, then it's definitely not the right choice. I know you can get your resistance shredding reflected back to yourself as well, so this would become -8 or something like that. You can actually go negative on resistances. Is he reflecting, or is he just... You know what? Let's find out. I think I killed him too fast. Okay, Ranger's Helm, no. Flesh Warped Cask. Overseers of the Eagle, yes, please. Okay. I'm really upset that that's only got 184 armor on it. Overseers would just solve all my issues. So Overseers there gives you the increased armor absorption by 23%, which is 3% more than a scaled hide. So I put this on. All right. I would have to go back to... Would I? Yeah, I probably should change one of these back to a soul shard if I do this. But my armor rating is now, or my armor absorption is 100%. I can take the scaled hide off, and I can put honored ground, I think it is, on there. That'll get me some more elemental resist. So then I could swap this ring back. Let's do that. Back to town. 7th time this episode. Alright, keep item. Yes, I'm sure. Keep add-on. Again, yes, I'm sure. Okay, I actually don't need it. I mean, I'm gonna do it anyway, but I don't need it. What does this get me? Elemental and bleeding. I don't need the bleeding. Do I just roll like this? 3% missing is 15% additional damage taken from those. I'm still at 100% without that component. What else can I put on there? I guess Oleron's Chains for some attack speed and offensive ability. Do I have one yet? If I just mouse over this, it'll light up the ones that can go on there. So, we could go Ancient Armor for some extra armor percentage, some flat armor, some physique. That would not be a horrible idea. I'm not seeing any hallowed ground. Am I blind? Let's see if I'm blind. I'm not blind. How have I not got a hallowed ground at this point in the game? Okay, don't have Oleron's Chains either, which is another kind of rarish chest component. Alright, maybe I'll just go Ancient Armor Plate. The armor absorption is completely wasted, but it will get me some extra armor, so the 8% applies to every slot. An additional 35 on my chest is not a bad idea as well, especially considering I've got like 20% extra armor. I think that's probably not the worst one. So I've got almost 600 armor on my chest, almost 600 armor on my legs. That's where I get hit most of the time, just short of half of the time. And then, yeah, I think I'm just kind of okay with being a couple percentage points short. Yeah, I think I'm going to roll with that. That also works. Yeah, I think that's okay. Since I'm in town, I'll have a quick look at the jewelry again. I'm just going to check the rare ones. No rares. No rings. No rare rings, anyway. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm happy with that. Let's keep pushing. Resistance is a good. Hit points are good. Forgot to change that back. Surprised this is the first time I've encountered that. Hit points are okay. Armor is decent. Although, I mean, I'm playing a soldier and an Oathkeeper. Warlord's always going to have pretty good armor. Alright, Kaiman's idiot's going to be throwing explosive beer bottles at me. Like a bunch of bogans in the street Sunday morning. Actually, they usually ask you for a cigarette, not throw flaming bottles at you. Don't ask me how I know that. Alright, we've made it to Fort Ikon, or the second half of Fort Ikon. I've failed to put a rift down at my normal spot, which is way back here, so I'm going to have to leg it back. That's fine. I can run. I've got legs. Alright, successfully managed to use both of my movement skills to try and get up on a wall. Unsurprisingly, it didn't work. There we go. And I do have to fight for this rift here, so let's just hold off on using the you can't hurt me button. This spiky aura always worries me, but apparently it doesn't reflect, so that's actually good. Aggressive diadem. Okay, I should be getting heroes next. Here they come. Unstoppable, Aether Blaze. What's that last one? Starfire. Alright, they're all dead. I didn't reflect anything. Good. Pick up all the loot here, and then we are going to go... Actually, you know what? There's a decent chunk of XP available here. So we'll come up here, read the Praetorian's report, the Black Legion scouting report, talk to Creed, talk to Weapons Master, what's his face? Bank all my components. I mean, like, both of them. And then I'm going to run back. So, big part of going back here is the Devotion Shrine on the bottom floor in the hidden area behind the broken wall, behind the hidden candle opening door. It's a pain to get to. If you didn't know this area that I'm going to be heading to was there, I mean, you would maybe find it by luck. You're not going to just accidentally find this thing. But that's alright. That's alright. I know where it is. Oop, successfully tried to dash up onto the top floor again. It's fine. 41, almost 42. No stat points to spend. I think I already spent my skill points as well. Yep, definitely did. Alright, so this whole area is just absolutely flooded with Kaiman's idiots. I really wish that the ring I had would give me fire resistance, or lightning instead of cold, the one I don't need. The one elemental damage these idiots don't do. So you are going to get lightning strikes in here. I think it's the Blade Maidens, but it's definitely one of them that will hit you with ye old lightning bolts. I haven't seen one yet, but I haven't been specifically looking for it either. That's alright, we'll take them out. Stormbearer? Maybe it's Stormbearer that'll do it. It's definitely one of them anyway. Let's just back up a little. Yeah, it was him. Whatever he was. Maybe stop shooting the wall. Always find it fun to shoot things from places where you're not supposed to be able to attack them. Okay, what are you? You're just a zealot. Bunch of these guys. Someone just doom bolted me, or whatever that attack actually is. Pretty sure it's the Stormbearers or the yeah, this guy. Yeah, it's him. It's definitely Stormbearers. Anyway, there's something in here that does lightning damage. There could be a totem right here. There is always loot in the wall here. Mantle of the Weeping Eye, Cold and Lightning, and Aether Burn, or Aether damage. Otherwise, not so much. Tempest is a really nice prefix. Tempest on Pants. It's kind of okay. +2 to Presence of Virtue, +2 to Scars of Battle. Scars is this one. And then Presence is... Oh, it's obviously it's this one, Presence of Virtue. I do actually like having the +2 to Presence of Virtue, because it's giving me more internal trauma damage, so I can one-shot myself. Or I can reflect myself to death. Yeah, Tempest is quite a good prefix for... Well, not really for this build, but it is quite a good prefix for anything elemental. The Black Grimoire of Ognapesh. Do you want to get yourself a skeleton that's on fire? Kind of. I wouldn't mind having a skeleton that's on fire. It's not really for this build, but it is actually a pretty good pet, especially if you're doing fire pets. So if you were playing a skeleton Kabbalist and you're converting it all to fire, that's a pretty good book. It's very hard to shoot bullets out of a book, though. Okay, so lots of elemental in here. I'm actually glad that I capped that elemental resistance. 15% more damage from all of these idiots is not great. Alright, nearly made it to the end of the first level. We are going to have to fight Mr. Fireman at the end, Bartholem. But I think fire is probably fine. We should be alright. He's melee range anyway, so I can just kite him around. If I need to. And I'm probably killing more of these than I, strictly speaking, need to. But I'm kind of worried that if I let them kind of build up, they'll get to a critical mass and I'll just die. So I might just continue to hold the right-click button on the way through. Alright, so we got loose ends here, some free XP. I think this one is about being barricaded inside the tomb that you've just built. What do we got here? Yeah, stuck down here in the dark like a rat. I am someone. Recover an artifact. Yeah, I think we get another lore note from him in the air quotes hidden area. Okay, 42. So that gets me the Guardians. On their own, not particularly amazing. Once you get to Celestial Presence here, you can see that minus to physical resistance. That is going to get us quite a bit of extra damage. Now, I still have this set to W from my Deceiver playthrough, and I think I'm just going to leave it and see if there's any buttons I end up putting on it. Probably not with an auto attack build, but you never know. Having them just run around the corner and aggro everyone is pretty good. These guys are actually invincible. They cannot be vinced, so they can stand in any kind of damage. You don't need to get them stats because their stats are based off of your stats. Right, so who thinks this is a door? Well, it is. So there you go. If you didn't know that was a door, chances are you're not going to find it. Because this doesn't show up on the map. It doesn't look like there's anything here. You might see the breakable wall, maybe, but you're not going to see it from here. So good luck finding that one. Let's go physique. Definitely feel like I need some more physique. Okay, welcome to Archon Bartholem's little house here. I'm going to try and keep it range as much as I can. I am standing in fire right now. I've got Ascension up. Let's see if I can just tank through this while I have it up. I'm going to plan to Via's Might away when this wears off. I think he's going to be dead first, though. Let's just get out of whatever I was standing in. And there we go. Fiend Leather Girdle, no. Alvarix Rebuke, obviously no. And then Bartholem's Girdle. Tempting, actually. +2 summons to the Guardians of Empyrean. 2 summon limit is, I mean, yeah, they obviously come together. Gives Judgment a bunch of extra damage. Yeah. One day maybe I'll make a build out of that. Probably not today. That's alright. Got the quest item, Tyrants. Tyrants is actually a really good prefix. That's alright, we're going to get that from Oleron's Blood. Tyrants again. Tempest of Haste. Tempest is not amazing for us because we're not doing Elemental, but it does come with offensive ability as well, so it's not a complete write-off. And elemental resist? Bleeding resist. Wait, bleeding? I would have swore it was elemental. Anyway, apparently I would have been wrong. Before we leave, I definitely want to go down here. This area, you need bleeding resistance. The entire place is... the entire place is full of fire and lightning, and then you get down here and it's all bleeding. Let's not stand in that for a second. Is this... Da, 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 da. Okay. So I guess this is him discovering the undead infestation here. Mighty of Nature's Bounty. Okay. Elemental and Chaos Resistance. Do you mind? I'm trying to read loot. That's fine. We've got an Ancient Spirit Totem here. I might skip that. I probably won't, but I also probably should. Alright. The old Ghost from Behind trick. Try not to stand in that as much as you can. It's definitely going to hurt. Lightbringers of Scorching on a belt. It's unlikely I'll be replacing my +1 to soldier skills belt with that. Very unlikely. Let's just keep pushing through here. There's also a treasure trove. Where is it? Is it here? There it is. It's always in the same place, and I can never remember where it is. I forget who pointed that out to me, but I didn't know this one. So cheers for whoever it was. You know who you are. Unfortunately, I don't remember. Okay, ectoplasms are good. I don't have enough of those, apparently. Right, let's just do this. What do we got here? 20% increased armor, that's good. Monsters do stuff faster, and they reduce my damage. Alright. Reducing my damage also reduces my lifesteal, so I don't love that. Did I see enemies out here? Not really. Apparently not really means yes. You coming? There you go. Okay, let's pop this. I'm gonna regret this. Yeah, I already regret this. What do we got? Burning. We got Rot Eye. Okay, Rot Eye can die. Corpse Eater. Standing in goop. Don't stand in the goop. I don't see any reflect. I'm nicely caged in here so I can't move, which is fabulous. As long as I can keep shooting, I should be alright. I say as I get frozen. And then caged. Okay. That was actually not quite as bad as I was halfway expecting. I am doing these totems in the hopes of getting another piece of the Perdition set. Legionnaire's Rebuke. This game just loves me, doesn't it? I'm playing a pistol build. All it gives me is shields. Just ignore these other non-shield items. Alright, just roll with it. Okay, checking a couple of rings here. I'm not really expecting anything great. And I didn't get it. Okay, we'll continue along here. And there is a boss right next to that... right next to that Devotion Shrine, who I do want to kill. Because he's made out of loot and XP, and because he's in front of a Devotion Shrine. But you need to be really careful about this guy, and by you I mean I need to be really careful about him. So Necrothan, I think it is. I didn't quite catch his name there. Yeah, Necrothan. He is going to throw rocks at you from the roof, and they are really going to hurt if they hit you. So make sure you are ready to run away. So here we go, and just hit him a few times. I'm going to wait for the roof to come down. I'm going to scoot my way back. Thankfully, the last couple there missed me. There we go. Plague Mancer's Amulet and the Mark of Necrothan of Mending. 47 regen. Okay, that's not bad. Losing 8% Chaos Res. Don't really care all that much. I mean, not ideal, but... Plague Mancer's Amulet, no. This is interesting. This is actually quite expensive for a Devotion Shrine. And there's something like 3 times as many shrines in the game as there are points you can get. So if you don't want to spend the Ancient Heart, which is kind of expensive, then go ahead and skip this one. I'm going to take it though, because I want the devotion points. I want to get started on the owl maybe. There's some Ellie res as well. That's not bad. Yeah, let's do it. I'll take these, and I am actually going to take the time now. Go down to DC, or Devil's Crossing. I'm going to take that last point out of... Where is it? Here, Sardina. I'm going to take that last point out of the Assassin's Blade, and I'm going to put it in here instead. Now, the owl was always part of my plan. Actually, I think I had the toad at one point, but ended up swapping it to the owl to get the reflected damage reduction. But this was not for another, like, 15 points or something. So this was supposed to be done, and then I think maybe Olzard, perhaps. I forget exactly how it went, but I'm moving this up just to get the reflected damage reduction. I will complete this, and then we'll start on Assassin's Blade. And reflect resistance is up to 67%, which should, at least in theory, should definitely help out. Right, let's go ahead and vendor all of this stuff that I don't want. And then I'll go and turn in the quests. Got a Blood of Chthon there, which is pretty nice. Don't get too many of those while you're leveling up. Unless, I guess, you go specifically looking for them. Alright, we'll go turn in the ashes. And unless I'm misremembering, I don't think I do another quest after the ashes. Or no, there's one more, isn't there? It's the event to summon Old Mate. So we'll do this one. See if I can get myself killed to Novaria. Is it Novaria? I forget. The boss in the last wave of this cage match, we'll call it, definitely can be a little bit spicy. Okay, Keeper of Tomes, I have them here. Respected. Okay. Yet another quest reward blueprint that I've already got. I will assist you in the ritual. Here you go, you can have your blueprint back. Let's see if the door wants to open today. A lot of the time, yeah, here we go. Oh, it's kind of open, just a bit slow. Alright, so we'll talk to the book on the floor. Go ahead and eat that. You can have a read if you're so inclined. And let's just begin the ritual. So, it's a couple of waves, I think 4 waves of increasing difficulty, increasing number of heroes per wave. Definitely want to take out the priests first if you can. Turn the loot off. Where are you? Yep. Kill the priest first, he says. This is he leaves the priest for last. There's reflect. Okay, I've reflected myself. That's not great. I'm going to try and kill him while Ascension is up. It should be pretty doable. Okay, we got a big boy over there. Let's see if I can't kill his friends before he gets here. Death Revenant up there. Alright. That's fine. Alright, we take the big boy out, get rid of the cages. And then here we have the last wave. Okay, someone's reflecting, which I don't love. Someone is... Oh, that's right. The blue goop on the ground sunders, so stay out of that. There we go. So this is actually a lot lower. I've still got my healing potion. I think I'm okay with this amount of reflect damage. It's still not great. And let me see here. That's about a quarter now, 7. Yeah, so it's about almost 30 seconds. And I think it will... No, it's not going to kill me. That's fine. I'll use a potion anyway. Adept Scepter. Maybe if I can get 1 or 2 more pieces of regen gear. Like, you know, if I chuck this mark on, maybe it's going to be fine. Alright, so I'm going to go turn this quest in. If it didn't just complete. No, it didn't. I'm going to turn this quest in. And then that's going to be the end of the episode. So I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And goodbye for now.